Okay. All right. I think Tammy was just asking what the recording ID was. There's no ID. You just go to YouTube and search out
No,
Redox Nurse
no.
Talk.
Are you talking about for the recording or for tonight? She's asking for meeting ID. So just type in Redox Nurse Talk.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. I'm so excited to see you all here this evening. And so I'm Doria Stewart. I'm a registered nurse from Atlanta, Georgia. And my co-host, or I want to say my partner, she's not really a co-host, she's a partner, Cindy Reed from Nashville, Tennessee. And we are independent global associates with a cellular health company called Asea. So our mission is to educate people about this health technology called redox signaling molecules so that people can learn about it, educate themselves about it, and may be able to incorporate this in their health regimen and their lifestyle. So we thank you for taking your time out of your busy night to be with us this evening. What you're about to hear is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. We'll be we do have a few housekeeping rules. We would ask that if you are going to leave your video or you're doing something or eating, we'd appreciate it if you would just, stop your video. You can still be on audio, but I know I get easily distracted if I start seeing people move around. We are each week, we're honored to have a guest on, and Cindy will be interviewing her later. She's also a registered nurse, and that's Kaye Copier. We're so excited. It's the first time we ever met her. So we've had a little conversation beforehand. And good thing we started the recording, or we would have continued with all of our war stories from nursing. So I don't have a nurse nugget this evening. What I do have is if we have some nurses on this evening, I want to say I celebrate you. This is Nurses Week. And Nurses Week started in 1982. President Ronald Reagan signed a proclamation on March 25th and proclaimed that Nurses Day would be one day on May 6th, which was in 1982. But in 1990, the American Nurses Association expanded the recognition of nurses to a week-long celebration, declaring May 6th through the 12th as National Nurses Week. So the theme for this year, for 2024, is that nurses make a difference, and to honor their varying roles of nurses that make a positive impact in people's lives. And what you're going to hear in a few minutes, you're going to hear from Cindy and myself and Kaye, and you're going to find out all the different areas of nursing that we have worked in. And what I want to share is, this is really just honor the nurses that are on, and I know Kaye has invited some. So I want to read this little proclamation. And usually, if you work in a hospital, when they have the very first day of Nurses Week, the hospital administrator will do a proclamation to honor nurses. So here we go. It says, we gather to celebrate and thank God for nurses in our healthcare community who provide consistent comfort and care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Theirs is one of the toughest jobs around, requiring patience, intelligence, listening, conflict management, calm, quick thinking, and endurance, all in a fast paced, often stressful environment. It is fitting that in scripture, when the prophets and preachers wanted to describe the height of compassion, they frequently turned to the image of the nurse, the image of one who gives not only medicine, but the gift of themselves to others. So I just wanted to share that and thank you. Celebrate you, like I said, celebrate the nurses that are on this evening. So what I like to do right now is I want to have Cindy Reed share who she is and just a little bit about her testimony about how this technology has impacted her.
Thank you, Doria. And welcome, everyone. We are excited for Nurses Talk, Nurses Week. So we're just celebrating the care that we give to our patients as well as our families. I am a nurse here in Nashville, Tennessee, and at the present time, I'm a hospice nurse. I served in the areas of cardiology briefly, med-surg, and then I've been in nursing administration for probably most of my nursing career, except for hospice. So when I was introduced to this product, I was struggling with some autoimmune challenges, and I was looking for something more holistic and natural without the side effects. So when this person shared it with me, it was exactly what I was looking for. And I got on the product. I've been on it 4.5 years now. And over time, I was able to wean off of the medications that I was taking for these autoimmune challenges. So as a nurse, we love to educate people, and educating people about medications is something that we do all the time because the doctors write the orders, and then it's our job to explain the medication and the side effects. And in doing that, we've learned many side effects, Dory, I'm sure you have too, a lot of the medications. Now, medications are definitely needed at times, but you need to know the side effects. You need to know what not to mix with, some of the benefits, as well as some of the adverse effects. So with this, there's no issue. There's no side effects. There's no complications. So that's why it's my passion to share and to educate people about not only redox, but about their health in general. Because if you look at America and our population and our health scores, it's sad, especially compared to other countries that don't allow some of the things into their products and into their foods that we allow. So be your own advocate always. And if you question your doctor, get a second opinion and just keep doing your research. So I'm sorry, I kind of went overboard there. But we do have an awesome guest tonight. We were supposed to have Gina Moran on as well, but Gina is under the weather tonight, so we will get her back on another time. And Gina and Kaye are actually connected, and their story is pretty cool. And Kaye may go into a little bit of that tonight if she wants to. But what I will do first, we always show a short video just explaining a little bit about the technology for those of you who may not have seen it. Usually we show Alan Noble's breakthrough video from the Real Redox results, but tonight we're going to show a very simple cartoon that just really puts it to basics and explains it in simple terms. Let me share my video and we'll watch that, and then afterwards we will introduce Kaye and let her tell her story.
The human body is an extraordinary creation, made up of between 50 and 100 trillion cells, each one performing just the right function in just the right place at just the right time. Your cells themselves are amazing. Each one is a bustling metropolis of activity, a city that never sleeps. Every second of every day, your cells work tirelessly to keep your body healthy and strong. One of the major functions of your cells is the production of fuel. This fuel, known as ATP, is actually created by workers inside the cell called mitochondria. Mitochondria are so vital and important that a single cell can have thousands of these little workers. In fact, it is estimated that half of the dry weight of the human body is made up of mitochondria. Mitochondria do more than supply the body with the fuel it needs. They also play a key role in cell signaling and communication, coordinating the actions and activities of your cells. When you think about it, this kind of signaling is essential for health and life, since it is the foundation for things like cell development, tissue repair, and immune functions. Without the ability to communicate and coordinate the activities of cells, we would fall apart pretty quickly. The mitochondria's role in this vital communication system lies in the fact that they make special molecules, called redox signaling molecules. The mitochondria make these molecules by the trillions, every second of every day. Good thing, too, because without these redox signaling molecules, life itself would be impossible. You need these molecules to protect the health of your cells, to detect threats and damage, and to repair or replace injured cells. Unfortunately, as we get older, our ability to make redox signaling molecules diminishes. Ever notice that bumps and bruises that disappear in no time on a child seem to last forever on someone who is elderly? The cells in that older person simply aren't communicating as efficiently as they did when they were younger, and so cells and tissues take longer to repair themselves. And all because the body isn't making as many redox signaling molecules as it used to. But what if there were a way to replenish your supply of these amazing little molecules? What if there were, in essence, a redox signaling supplement? How would your life change if you had a supply of redox signaling molecules like you did when you were younger? Such a product would be incredible, but how would you go about making it? Well, a good start would be to understand how the mitochondria in your trillions of cells make these vitally important molecules. Your cells are little bags of salt water. The mitochondria and other organelles inside the cell float around in this salt water. It's not surprising, then, that when the mitochondria need building blocks for creating redox signaling molecules, they use something they have plenty of: salt water. It works out pretty great because salt water is made up of just 4 atoms: the sodium and chloride atoms in salt and the hydrogen and oxygen atoms in water. The mitochondria pull apart these saltwater molecules, then recombine the atoms in different configurations. The new combinations are, guess what? Redox signaling molecules. Things happen so fast inside the cells that these redox signaling molecules are manufactured in just fractions of seconds. And they get used quickly too. And if the cells don't need the redox signaling molecules right away, the atoms convert back into salt water, ready to be used again and again by the mitochondria. It's a very efficient system. So to make a redox signaling supplement outside of living cells, it makes sense to start with the same building blocks: salt and water. That's just what a company called Asea does. We begin with a pure, pristine saline solution. Then, using a highly protected and patented electrochemical process, we break apart the bonds that hold the sodium, chloride, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms together. These free-floating atoms are then recombined in new configurations, and voila! Redox signaling molecules. Of course, the process sounds a lot easier than it really is. Your mitochondria make redox signaling molecules in fractions of seconds. Asea takes 3 full days to make the same molecules. But the real triumph for Asea came in overcoming the issue of stability. Remember that redox signaling molecules made in the cell get used right away or else turn back into salt water? That's because redox signaling molecules are very reactive. They want to get busy and start working right now. This reactive nature makes it difficult to keep these molecules around for long. They want to get used or they'll revert back into salt water. Fortunately, after countless hours of research and experimentation, the scientists at Asea reached a breakthrough. They discovered a process for pairing these highly reactive molecules into balanced sets, stabilizing redox signaling molecules outside of living cells. This really is something extraordinary. Molecules that last just microseconds inside the cell have a shelf life of over a year in a bottle of Asea. Amazing! So what does Asea, the world's first redox signaling supplement, mean for you? Simply put, it's an entirely new approach to health. Every other health and wellness product, vitamins, exotic juices, everything, tries to help the body by giving it something foreign, something the body has to try to figure out how to use. Not so with Asea. The molecules in Asea are native to the body. See, your body already knows how to take care of itself. Your cells actually make the tools they need, and for the first time in history, you can replenish and reinforce those tools. You can, in fact, give your body more of the native molecules it needs to take care of its own health. Asea is more than a mere supplement. It is a foundational approach to health and wellness, a fundamental shift in how we take care of ourselves. So are you wondering just what Asea can do for you? There's one powerful way to find out. Talk to the person who shared this message with you. Get your hands on a case of Asea and feel for yourself the effects of the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. Your life and your approach to your own health will never be the same.
Okay, that's our little short video. And I didn't know, Doria, did we state the disclaimer? I noticed they dropped the little sign down there. Did we state that in the beginning?
We did, but you can repeat it if you
Okay,
like.
I can remember. Yes, these redox molecules do not diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. They just give the body what it needs to operate at its optimal level. So now let's move on to the fun part. So with this being Nurses Week, we have 3 nurses on tonight. And our guest tonight is Kaye Copier. And Kaye grew up in Sandy, Utah, grew up in Sandy, Utah. And at the moment, they apparently moved a little bit around Utah, but at the moment, they lived in a farming community of West Warren, Utah. Her spouse, Rand, and she raised 5 children. And at the moment, they have 15 grandchildren. That's awesome. Kaye has been in the medical field for 35 years and the last 30 as a registered nurse. And so Kaye had such a wonderful testimony with lots of things that I'm not going to read all that. We'll just use that in the testimony and we'll go through our questions. So Kaye, with the fact that you have been in the nursing field for 30 plus years, I'm sure you've had a lot of, I won't say health issues, but maybe some aches and pains and some side effects of being a nurse, basically taking care of patients. You want to just start, first of all, just tell me how ASEA came to you, or how did that cross your path, the redox?
My husband's younger sister, Sharon and Cameron Kluke, they called us one day and said, "We have something that you want to look at. It's really helped us with our health." And so I asked, "What is it?" And it made a little bit of sense to me, but I had a lot of questions. And so they were able to connect me with one of the doctors, and I asked a lot of questions. And he shared a lot of photos with me. He shared how it worked and how it was. And the thing that I said, well, the marketing on this, yeah, I'm really not interested. And we talked about it a little bit, and they told us some of their experience. And so my husband said, if it's going to make a difference for you, it's always worth a try. Let's at least give it a try to see if it helps. Being in the medical field for so long, between pushing gurneys and catching falling patients and turning. And when I first started in the medical field, I basically was told, if you can't turn a patient by yourself, then you don't belong in this field. So for several years, I had to be tough. And it really did take its toll on my body. And by the time I retired, I had difficulty using one of my hands. The pain was so severe. I had back pain. I'd had my knees replaced. I'd had my back fused. And along with some medical, genetic happenings that we get from our parents, I was pretty beat up by the time I retired. And I spent a year trying to get myself healthy. I pushed myself, I skied. I wore big braces on my knees when I skied and skied the easier runs. But everything I did was in pain. I just was in constant pain. And my hand pain just continually got worse. And of course, they wanted to do surgery on my hand. And I knew the surgery, I knew it was going to be a 6-month recovery before I had the use, and it would give me some use of my hand. I would still probably have some pain. Anyway, Rand said, let's just try it. So we ordered it, we signed up, we ordered it. I loved that they had a 30-day guarantee. But I was challenged, as I do my friends and family. I challenge them, give it 90 days and take it the way I asked you to take it, so that we can get some true results. Anyway, we had gone on a hike that day. It was 5 hours long. We had run out of water. I'd fallen. I tripped several times. By the time we got home, I was pretty miserable. But our box of Asea was on the porch. And we brought it in, and my husband said, well, let's try it. And right away, I grabbed the Renew 28. The Renew 28 is my friend. And I grabbed it and I said, well, let's see what it does. And I put it on my wrist and my hand 3 times in 5 minutes. And in 20 minutes, sorry, I get pretty emotional about this.
Okay.
In 20 minutes, my pain was from, I daily, on a daily basis, I would ask my husband, could you just go get the saw and cut my hand off? That's how bad the pain was. In 20 minutes, it went from a greater than a 10 to a 3. And I was amazed. And then my husband poured the Asea, gave us each 2 ounces, and we drank that. And I sat on the couch, and every hour I just applied the Renew 28 because I was told non-toxic, I couldn't overdo it. And the next morning, I was able to take this hand and move it without pain. And for me to make a fist or to use it was so painful that I kind of had lost some of the use of it, and was dropping stuff. If I use that hand, I usually drop things. I was just amazed that I could use this hand. 2 days later, I could make a fist. And 2 weeks later, I bottled 24 quarts of peaches with very minimal pain. And being an urgent care nurse, so I have done so many areas of nursing. And being one of them, an urgent care nurse, I cut my thumb on my last batch. And I thought, I'm going to try this out. Mind you, I used to prep for stitches, and I know when to cut, and I used to assess, yes, this needs stitches. My thumb needed about 4 stitches at the least. It was deep, it was wide. And I thought, I'm going to test this stuff out. So I applied it on my thumb 3 times in 5 minutes. And it stopped bleeding. I just would daub it and put some more on and daub it. And the 3rd time it stopped the bleeding. I put more gel on. I wrapped my thumb up in a Band-Aid with a little bit of pressure, and I left the Band-Aid on. I took that Band-Aid off 4 days later, and you couldn't even tell there had been a cut. So when this helped me, this was pretty exciting for me. So I want to share with you my dad's story. He has some with his lungs and was on continuous 4 liters of oxygen, continuous. And we were trying to get him on the honor flight because he's been in the Air Force for so many years. He retired, I think, for 35 years in the Air Force. And he wanted to go on this honor flight, but he was turning 89 and 4 liters of oxygen, could barely walk 5 feet. He'd have to stop and take a breath, a bigger breath, walk 5 more steps and stop and take a breath. And so I said to my husband, we have to take this down to Dad. And he lives at the southern end of Utah. I took it down. I explained to him, I said, this might get you on the honor flight. Let's see. He grumbled, but he took it. And 1 week later, I had him mist it in his eyes because he has some problems with his eyesight. I had him inhale it through a mister. I had him drink it. And 1 week later, he was at my home. 4 days later, he had the energy and wanted to come up to my area. The altitude change would make him feel like an elephant was sitting on his chest. So I didn't think he could do that. But he tried. He made it to my home. From Thursday to Thursday, that evening, he said to me, "Oh, my nebulizer, that was really quick. That surprises me." And I said, "Well, what do you think the difference is?" And he said, "Well, I can breathe. I can take a big, deep breath. Look at this." And he proceeded to take some big, deep breaths. And I said, "Well, let's check your oxygen level." And he was 98% on 4 liters. So I turned him down to 3. And the next morning, I continued to check on him. By Saturday, he was on 2.5 liters and qualified to go on the honor flight. My mother had fallen and hurt her shoulders. She grumbled when I put it on her arms, but a month later, that grumbling was gone, much to my father and sister's happiness. So every day, and their eyesight has gotten better, and our eyesight has gotten better. I have so many family members and friends that this has helped. One of the things that I really always like to talk about with health is your mouth, and your mouth health affects your heart. Your bowel health affects your heart, your lungs, and all of your organs. And that is something I like to share with people. And by taking these molecules, it is able to help in so many areas. Helping your bowels, helping your heart, I had a sister-in-law that had a horrible toothache. I just said, put some of this on there 3 times in 5 minutes. I had her use the gel. And 20 minutes later, she came in and said, "I need some of this." So I've had a family member with brain issues, brain swelling. 4 weeks after starting taking the molecules, he was back riding his bike. Before that, he was basically a zombie, and he's a very intelligent computer whiz. He's very intelligent, and his wife, because she had seen what it had done for my parents, was so willing to let her husband try this after this brain issue that he had. And 4 weeks later, he was riding his bike and could actually, I think he told me, "I know how to use my phone now," where he couldn't even use his phone. It's just, I just have too many amazing stories. I could go on and on.
Wow, that is awesome, Kay. And like I said, when I read your bio, I thought she does have a lot of stories and a lot of testimonials to tell. I have a few things I'm just want to go through that ties to some of the things you talked about. First of all, what did you think about the science? Did you think it was real? Could you believe this could really be a possibility? Something so
Well,
simple?
I understood the science, but my question was saltwater, saltwater from Salt Lake. Yeah. And that's why I had to look at that's why I had to talk with the doctor. I had to see pictures, I had to see proof, and then I still was doubtful, and I had to have my own results. And sometimes I have to stop and think, is this for real? And then I say, well, I don't have the back pain that I have every day. I can use my hand, and I don't need to use the gel on my hand every day anymore. But animals cannot have a placebo effect. And we have used this for a couple of our horses. We've used it on our cat. In fact, if I pull out the Renew 28 tube, my cat comes and wants some. There was she had a sore from I think a raccoon attack. And she just loves licking it off my hand, and it keeps her healthy. And we had a horse that we thought we were going to lose, and he's doing really well now. It's Animals cannot have a placebo effect. So, one of my favorite stories right now is with my grandnephew, who has really struggled with his health for 11 years with his GI tract. And he called me after taking it 3 weeks. He called me and said, "You have changed my life. I wish I would have listened to you sooner." And now he is a Director 300 and working on the business and sharing with people what it has done for him and his life and his sweet young wife. So,
Hey, I can't tell you how many times we've heard people say that, basically that you don't know what this has done for me, or this has changed my life, or I wish I had listened to you earlier. And you did mention when you were talking earlier, or I think in your bio that I read maybe. So when you saw that this was through an MLM, I know you were a little hesitant about that. And with our company, our founder has basically changed it from MLM to NLM, next level marketing. So what would you say to someone who has a reservation about an MLM or a next level marketing?
that is big time in Utah. People are so, oh, this is just an MLM. And I tell them it is a next level marketing with a product that is an answer to prayer and a company with ethos. And we just returned from Puerto Rico because we earned a trip. We had the opportunity to go on this wonderful trip. They took such wonderful care of us. We got to do a service project. But Tyler Norton, how many companies, Tyler Norton comes and sits with you and wants to know about you. And he's such a wordsmith. I love listening to him. He is amazing. I have yet to meet anybody in this company, whether it's my upline, my downline, my sideline, everybody is there to help everybody else. And there's just so much love and help with this company that, yeah, I was very against it. But the problem is, because of what it did for me, I have not been able to stop sharing especially with people who I know that have health issues. And then we took, I think it was 14 of our closest friends and family who would come to what we call a fly-in, and they got to see the factory. They got to sit down with the chemists and listen to them and the science and the CEO. They were all there, and they fed us a wonderful lunch. I mean, they really care about people. And that is my takeaway with that. I've never met a company with ethos. Now, I went to work every day working for a company that did not give me the love of a company like this company does. And I just love the company. Rand loves the company. My two sisters got to go to Puerto Rico with us, and they just can't believe this company and what it does for people.
Okay, you're exactly right. I haven't run across it, and I'm sure Doria's the same way. I haven't run across another company that I've worked with or that I've even known about that takes care of their people like this and that has, like you said, the ethos. And you mentioned doing a service project. That's huge. That's showing we're giving back into the community. And with whatever, we're sharing with people. Yeah, it warms my heart, just the things I know about this company. Um, let's see, what else do I have? Okay, you answered a lot of my questions.
One of the fun things that happened to us in Puerto Rico, we were on the bus going to San Juan, and we were all supposed to get together at a certain restaurant and have this wonderful dinner together. Well, we got the alert to go to higher ground. Flash flooding was imminent. So the buses were turned around and we went back to where we were staying. And it just made everyone so happy that this food that they were going to feed us did not go to waste. The company donated all the food, as well as taking us on this wonderful trip and providing opportunity to feed other people. Our service project was to make food packets for people who were struggling, elderly, students, children. This company is amazing.
I did hear someone say that on the call. I think it was this morning, the fact that they donated all the meals that y'all were not going to be able to eat. And that is huge. That's awesome to have that. You have pretty much answered. I just want to end with one question, then I'll see if Doria has something. And if anyone else has questions, put them in the chat. So, as a nurse, in all your career and your time in nursing, have you ever seen anything that comes close to what this product can do?
I've prayed a lot for something like this because I've seen so many sick patients and so many patients that are taking a pill to cover the side effects of another medication that they are taking to cover another side effect. I have never seen a product like this. Good nutrition is so important, but if you still don't have what our body needs, it's still not going to heal itself. And so when I saw this and have seen the healing that it does for people, I'm just grateful every day that it is here, and it is here now. And the future to come with this company, I believe, is going to be quite amazing because their scientists are continually working. I do want to do a shout out about their nutrients. I didn't try them until I had points that I could use. And then I used some points, so my nutrients were free, basically, from my points. So I tried them. I was amazed. I am now off all of my medications that I was taking. And I was taking, doesn't sound like a lot, but to me, 6 medications a day to keep me going. So the nutrients in the Life Max, the Asea line, I always have to look because I never can remember the Asea line and the other line with the drinks. It's so much better to drink than have soda pop, and they're refreshing and they help. The Radiance has really helped my joints as well as my skin, along with the Asea, but also with the molecules. And my husband, I have to tell you, looks 10 years younger than he did back in August. He he has had some skin issues, major skin issues, and he is doing so well with that. So better than the medication that they had him on for these skin issues that were just, anyway. side effects of that as well. But the side effects of these molecules is wonderful.
One quick question. So remind me, when you started on this product? 23? Was it year 23?
Yes, it was August. Let's see, our box arrived, I think, August 22nd of 23.
So you have been in the company on the product since August of 23. You have seen major improvements with challenges you've had. Again, these things do not diagnose, treat, or cure anything, but they give the body what it needs to function better. And you've also gone on a trip to Puerto Rico with the company. I mean,
Yes.
where can you do that? I mean, who does that? So in less
Certainly
than a
not my
year,
last job.
mine either, or my current job for that. So in less than a year, you've had all these amazing things happen to your life and change your life and your husband's life and your family's life, it sounds like. So that's awesome. I love it, Kay. This has been awesome. I'm going to let Doria ask her questions, and y'all continue to put questions in the chat if you'd like, and we'll get Kay to answer afterwards.
Okay, so Kay, you said you retired. You're a retired nurse. What year did you retire?
I retired in 20, the 22nd, 22?
In 2022?
Yeah, I believe it's or just barely, like it was January 1 of 23.
Okay.
No,
All right.
January, was it 23 or 22? It's 22. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So, I
It's-
retired in 2021 after 43 years of nursing, but I just like you, as we were talking earlier, it's hard to take a nurse and that's been one for a long time like that and just go cold turkey and not do anything, So I work part-time. So tell me what you're doing now. You've had this great testimony with yourself and your family. How are you sharing this with others? Have you gone back to talk with the nurses that you worked alongside of? And all the areas of practice that you've been in?
I have tried, but I was the old nurse and they were the young nurses. And unfortunately, none of them want to listen to me. Fortunately, a lot of my dear friends who are my age, my husband's in his 70th year, and our friends have a lot of faith in me, which really does my heart good, that they would trust what I have to say. And so they listened to me and said, you say this works, we're going to try it. And they have tried it. And some of them have seen some really good results from it. When I see someone struggling in public, I have gotten so I'm bold enough to share. And I can say, what if you don't have to deal with that pain every day? What if you can feel better? I know what you can do for this. And that's been very hard for me because I'm basically a shy person. I've also done some wellness classes, and that's helped my sisters so that they could share. They've had their friends over and my sister-in-law. So anyway, in fact, in 2 weeks, I'm going to go back down and do another one in St. George, a wellness class, so that people down there, and this is the fun thing. My dad is 89. He'll be 90 in October. My parents will have been married 70 years in October. This cute little dad of mine shares. He has shared with his friends. He has shared with my cousins. He shares. And he is an associate because he shares. And it is pretty fun to listen to this 89-year-old guy. And he said to my cousins, I don't know. And he lifted up this blue bottle. He says, this stuff in the blue bottle I'll take till the day I'm ready to die because it's helped me so much. And he is just so cute about it. And anyway.
Yeah, what a blessing that is. You cannot help to
Hopefully
share
that
it when
is-
you have a great testimony for sure.
Yes.
Let's see. I think somebody was asking, how much were you taking? What did you start out taking? How much of the ASEA each day?
I started taking the 4 ounces a day, 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, before meals. And then I thought, well, maybe this is going to work better if I take more. So after a few days, I would take the equivalent of 6 ounces a day. Some days, if I know that, like, if I've been on the horse, riding the horse, then I will usually have 8 ounces that day when I go skiing. By the way, I ski now, no braces on my knees, and I ski black diamonds. Not all the time, but half the day. We usually ski black diamonds. And that's the pretty hard stuff when you're skiing. I don't do double diamonds, but I do black diamonds. I can keep up with my grandchildren. And on those days, I'll usually have 8 ounces. I'll drink 4 in the morning, and then I'll drink 4 before. Actually, so I have to say 10 ounces because I'll come home and have 2 more. And we're just able to ski and have fun and not have pain. And we sometimes ski 2 and 3 days in a row without rest. And it's great. We're just like, this is awesome. So it depends. Yeah. I do have to say that some people have had, with some of their issues, I have started them out with 2 ounces. And I have them do 2 ounces a day for a week, but rub the Renew wherever the issue is. With my nephew, it was along his esophagus and stomach area. After a week, we increased it, and we slowly increased it. And he's doing well. I just, the side effect of, some people go through a detox. I'm working with someone now who got 5 doses all at once of the COVID vaccination. And I'm working with her on slowly getting these molecules in to help get her feeling better. So, and it's working.
Great. So there's a question in the chat about the taste, and we know that when we drink this, some people the taste is not very palatable. So was there any issues with that with you or any members of your family?
Well, I warned them, and I was warned. The first few times you take it, if the taste is really bad, it's usually because you really need it. So there's always that warning that I've given. And yeah, I'm like, oh, this is a little hard to take, but especially because I'll hold it in my mouth for 30 seconds or swallowing. But now we don't even notice the taste. And I do know that if people use the pouch, if they really have a hard time with the taste, it's because of their smell. And so if they use the pouch dispensers, then you can't smell it. And so they can't taste, it doesn't taste funny. It doesn't taste like anything.
Yes, good. I think that's all I have. I don't know if there's any other questions in the
I
chat.
saw one more, Doria. Says, what is your approach? And you may have kind of answered that earlier. What is your approach with the See a Stranger? You're basically just seeing people in public and maybe seeing what they're dealing with, if they're limping or whatever. Is that how you approach people, Kaye?
Yes. And I'll just say, oh, you look like you're in a lot of pain. What's going on? And they'll tell me, well, I just had a hip surgery, or I just had a knee surgery, or, I just have autoimmune, or they'll tell me their issue, and I'll just say, well, would you like to hear about something that could help you be more comfortable and help your body heal itself? And they'll usually say yes and want to hear. So I send them a video I'll get their name and their phone number. I send them a video, like the little cartoon one that you did. I haven't seen that before. I love it. And so that's a new one I would send out, and then ask them, can I call you at 2 o'clock tomorrow? Will that give you enough time to watch it? So that's how I've done that.
Hey, that video is actually an older one because they stated in the video that it takes 3 days. Now it only takes, I believe it's 18 hours for the process to create the redox molecules, but I still like to share it.
It's so
It is cute. I did see a comment from Gina Moran, and Gina, I don't want to put you on the spot, but would you like to come on and just talk? You don't have to do your video if you don't want to. Strictly up to you, but she was just praising Kaye with blessings. Go ahead, Gina.
Hi, I am here. Thank you so much. Yes, I just wanted to just really recognize Kaye for all of the good that she's done. To try not to get emotional here, but when I call her our Asea angel, I truly mean that, it's as if God has just blessed her and given her a divine purpose and passion in her life to help other people with this incredible breakthrough. And I've just never seen anybody so committed to never giving up on someone and to just staying with them for the long haul and believing in them. And I think because of that, she's just seen such great success with so many people. And I think, you guys, sometimes when you lead with the belief and the conviction in your own mind and your own heart and your own spirit, it's not about the words that we speak. It's about the song, like Alan said, the song that we sing, right? They hear us, they feel it, and they know that, you're genuinely concerned, and what you're expressing is real, if that makes sense. And it's much more powerful than the words we speak. And I am just so grateful and thankful to know this woman. And that's one of the greatest blessings that we have here in Asea is the relationships and the people that we meet along the way, the people that come into our lives because of this profound technology and this incredible company. And we build relationships for life. And I will just be forever grateful to call her my friend. So thank you, Kaye.
Thank you,
You're
Gina.
so sweet. Thank you. And it was so fun to get to spend time with Gina in Puerto Rico. We just had a great time, and it was so fun to be around so many people that have like-minded thinking and care about people. And I mean, there was a gentleman there, and I can't remember his name. He turned 94 on our trip, and he was having just as much fun as everybody else. That's some longevity. If we're gonna get old, we're gonna die, we might as well be comfortable on our travels.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I love it. And Kaye, I just want to ask you one more question. Where's your hat?
It's in my bedroom. I was
Where are
Gina,
your
you have to know, I was tempted. I was so tempted to wear my hat. But I didn't. I thought, oh, I don't know if I can. Yeah, I should have brought it in the room and held it up.
No.
And okay, here's my hat. Ran went and got my
Oh,
hat.
thanks, Rand. Oh, there we go.
There's my hat.
We power
And,
potential.
yep, it's my sun hat for the summer, and I will be wearing it every time I go out, so that people can
Love it.
see. It's fun. In fact, there's an Ogden Marathon in 2 weeks, and I'm thinking, so many people need to hear about this, trying to figure out how I'm going to do that.
Well, it looks great on you, and it's a great conversational piece because you're wearing it. You're wearing We Power Potential. People are bound to come up and ask you what that means.
Yep, and I'm hoping that they will.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping that, because I do intend on wearing it. I protect my face from the sun, and so I'll be wearing that hat. So anyway, this has just been so fun to be on here with you ladies, and
Well,
especially for Nurses Week. This is
Right.
awesome.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, we thank you for doing this. And Gina, we thank you for popping on as well. We hope you get to feeling better as well, and we'll have you back on another time. But Kay, this has been awesome. And you continue to share your passion and share your heart. And that's where we're really going to reach people. And like Gina was talking about, we're a family, we're, friends. We do anything for anybody. And I will have to admit, my Facebook friends have probably doubled since I joined ASEA. And it's from people all over the country. And I love that. Doria, I will let you go ahead and close out if you'd like and introduce our guest for next week.
Sure, absolutely. So if this is your first time hearing about this gift of hope called Redox Singling Molecules, please get back to the person that invited you on our Zoom and then go more into detail about how you can be a part of it, like we all are sharing it, or, even just get on the product and experience it for yourselves. So this next week on May 14th, we have Ricardo Wilkins. Just going to tell you a little bit about him. He works for I guess he still works for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and he's written a book called Life's Biohack. So he's a young, vivacious man, and we're real excited about him being on our Nurse Talk next week. And the recording will be up on our YouTube channel. So you just, Google, or not Google, go to YouTube and put in Redox Nurse Talk. We got up, about 50 some videos up there right now. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. And Kate, we hope to have you back again. And thank you again. It was just an honor to meet you. And then happy Nurses Week to all the nurses out there.
Yes, happy Nurses Week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kay. And I'm going to stop the recording.